Who lives in the Americas? If you cross the Pacific Ocean from Korea, you will get to the American continent. The American continent is shaped like a gourd with a narrow neck. The upper part of the gourd is North America, and the bottom part is South America. There are many different kinds of people who live there. They have different skin color, hair color, and eye color. But in the beginning, they were not so different from each other. A long time ago on the American continent, there lived people who had brown skin and dark hair. They lived peacefully, hunting animals and farming corn. The Aztecs lived far into the mountains of North America. The Aztec people were smart and brave. They invented an alphabet and never lost in battle. The Aztecs lived in what is now Mexico. The Inca lived on the continent of South America. The Inca people were friendly and wise. They had lots of valuable treasures, but they were not greedy. They lived peacefully, growing corn and potatoes. The Inca lived in the Andes area, where Peru and Bolivia are now. On the northern tip of the American continent lived the Inuit. It is so cold there that it is covered in snow all year round. The Inuit people lived in igloos made from ice and hunted seal and fish. The Inuit lived near the Arctic Ocean, where Canada and Alaska are now. Many people lived all over the Americas. Some lived in the large and open fields and hunted bison. Others lived near the coast and caught fish. People who first lived in the Americas were not greedy. They took only what they needed from nature. However, peace in the Americas did not last. The Europeans set out to find new lands. The Europeans believed that there was mysterious land somewhere. Explorers from countries such as Portugal and Spain set out to look for new lands. The Europeans thought they would be able to find spices and jewels by going to India and China. But there was no way to get to Asia by land. The Europeans looked for ways to get to Asia by sea. One day, after a long and tiring voyage, a ship came to a new land. It was the Santa Maria, and Christopher Columbus was on it. Columbus cried tears of joy. This new land was the American continent. When Columbus discovered the American continent, he thought it was India. So he called those who were living there Indians, which means people living in India. Those people living on the continent were surprised to see people coming from ships. They had never seen people with blonde hair and white skin. The Europeans were also surprised at seeing the Indians. They looked different, and they couldn't talk to each other, and they had nothing in common. When Europeans heard the news that new land was found, they rushed to the new land. Some came to steal land, and others came looking for gold. Some came looking for freedom of religion, and others came as slaves. The Indians, who were living there first, fought against the Europeans. The Europeans wanted to steal the land, while Indians wanted to protect their land. Many Indians were killed in the fighting. Many years passed. After a long fight, the Europeans learned a valuable lesson. everyone is the same and equally important. They also realized that the land was for all of them to share together. Indians and Europeans became closer and closer. They became friends and started families. Whites, blacks, and Indians live together in North America today. They came from many countries looking for their dreams. They all look different, but they all like hamburgers and baseball. In the South American continent, blacks, Indians, and mestizo, who are half white and half Indian, all live together. They all have different skin color and looks, but all of them love dancing, singing, and soccer. The reason that such different people can live together happily is very simple. They understand their differences and value each other. Countries in the Americas. North America, South America, Canada Rocky Mountains, Totem Poles, CN Tower, Niagara Falls, the United States of America, Grand Canyon, Golden Gate Bridge, Disneyland, Yosemite National Park, Statue of Liberty, Mount Rushmore, Mexico, Baja California, Mayan sites, Peru, Nazca Lines, Andes Mountains, Machu Picchu, Brazil, Amazon River, Statue of Christ the Redeemer, Iguazu Falls, Chile, Moai statues, Argentina, Los Glaciares National Park of Argentina.